Hello, my name is Thaisa Cueva, and I am actually super excited for the final project because this final project will be able to give me time to explain what I learned personally about understanding children with different disabilities. This class has been very helpful for me because I learned different ways children can express themselves, different things that the schools are going through, different technologies that teachers use to reach students that have a very hard time understanding the classroom, the way of teaching, what they're learning, or how they're learning. Also, the videos have been very emotional for me. I'm a very emotional person, so when I saw those videos, each one of them really touched me, and I will definitely be talking about them in this presentation. So, of course, my first slide is understanding children with different disabilities. Again, disabilities can be seen as weaknesses, but if we are smart enough as educators, we will use the strengths of those disabilities. What do I mean? I mean that everybody has a good side and a bad side. Everybody has problems they have to deal with. And if we look at life this way, then we will realize that we can use the strength of the students and we can make them feel like they're worth it, like they are learning at the same pace and they are going to be winners in life. So my first slide is, of course, understanding children with learning disabilities and communication disorders. So the videos I've seen for this section help me understand what exactly that means. I was a little bit confused at first that what is learning disabilities, what is communication disorders? And when I saw those videos, I realized that the children that have those problems, they have speech impediments, they're not coherent, even though most of the time we can understand them pretty well, they need a special attention from teachers. What I really liked in the videos is that it showed how inclusive education, and that technology can really help those children get concentrated and definitely learn as much as all the other students in the classroom. It's so important to find those strengths and abilities in each one of those students. The second part is understanding children with emotional or behavioral disorders and ADHD. What I learned from that is I was looking at the video, the medicated child, the medicated student, and truthfully it really touched me because most teachers, most adults think that if they think a student has ADHD, then it's okay. We can tell the parents and the parents can put them on medication. But is medication really the answer to deal with ADHD? Of course, there's different examples. But is medication really going to help the child learn? So some ways that teachers can really deal with those kind of students is learning different keys. For example, I really like that video that explained that students need to be learned self-management, relationship skills, self-awareness, decision-making, and social awareness. It's very important for students to realize what they're doing, have control over their emotions, and realize what they can do and what can affect others around them. So being able to control themselves and take that self-awareness seriously is very hard for a young student. It takes definitely a lot of work, but smaller groups and mediation and really talking about feelings can really help ADHD students or emotional or behavioral disorders as well. Being able to openly talk about emotions, negative, positive, and be able to write about them, to mediate, to talk about them, that can definitely help those students. And that's what I learned from this section. The next section is understanding children with intellectual disabilities and autism. The one video that really touched me was the Thaisha video of that Asian student, and how the teachers and the principal really tried to get that universal design learning integrated in the way she is learning, that student. They realized that she's really into music, so they used her strength. And they made sure she learns through her strength. They noticed that she loves music, so they definitely integrated music into learning, and helped her even get a piece and learn a piece of piano and play in front of the whole school. That was really emotional for me. I really liked that example. I think that also what really helped that student is inclusion. They didn't take her and put her in a corner. They took Tasia and they really immersed her in the love and in the activities that they had in the classroom with all the other regular students. I think that inclusion is a big key. If she went to a school where all the students had autism, maybe she would learn all the social skills and all the behaviors that are needed in society, or that are demonstrated in society, and she would know how to act around people. So I think it's a very good thing they're including her in the classroom and really make her feel part of something bigger. That is a great way to deal with autism, even though some people or even some teachers feel like it's better that those students are apart. Of course, patience is a virtue, and that's the one thing I learned from this module, that we have to be patient. Even though it makes us want to go crazy or we're just losing our temper, we have to make sure we keep in control, and we realize that we just have to keep going, and patience is really the key. The next section is really good. It talks about understanding children with traumatic brain injury and hearing loss. The one thing I had no idea about that I learned this module is that if students have a hearing disability, they can miss out on 50% of everything that is taught. So that teaches me that if I do find someone that is maybe not responding quickly and always looking at my lips or the way I talk, or that I know have a hearing loss, I have to do several things in the classroom to help them. For example, they read lips, so I cannot have a classroom that's dark where they can't see me. I also learned that those students might really even benefit from technology, like a microphone for me to talk in the whole classroom, or for me to give them a computer, or things like that. We have to make sure that we make them feel safe and okay in their own classroom, and that their disability is not impeding their learning. So we definitely have to pay attention to those little details and make sure that we let the student know, maybe with gestures, or have a personal gesture they can recognize very easily. That is the one thing I learned from this module. And the last module was definitely about children with visual impairments and gifted. I learned that lots of students, well, actually not a lot of students, but a couple of students are twice exceptional. So from the video, I learned that students can have very much difficulty and maybe writing a sentence, but they can talk about things that are 3 or 4 grades above them and explain them in oral language. So I thought that was very interesting. I think that we have to appreciate those students and make them feel good for their strengths. Really appreciate that, and help them see that education is for everybody, and that no, they're not lazy, and no, they're not dumb. They're very smart in their own way. We have to use that definitely their advantage. And the last slide is the universal design for learning. I saw how Universal Design for Learning is implemented in each one of those modules. Definitely I saw technology come up so many times. I saw that technology can be such a great tool for all kinds of students. Also realize that the way we set up the classroom, how many people we have in the classroom, what are we going to do in the classroom, how we're going to make everybody feel included. Inclusion is a big deal. Inclusion can do wonders, and we need to use that for everybody, really. So I really liked this class. I learned so much, and I cannot wait to take all of that knowledge and do it in my own classroom. I am very grateful for everything, and I cannot wait to start teaching. So this is Thaisa Cueva, and this is my media clip final. So thank you very much.